Alrighty. Welcome, YouTubers. I unfortunately lost the video feed or the stream of Into the Breach, so what I'm going to do is just go into new game and explain everything that we basically did and play a very quick game on easy. Is what we did. We went through, we played on easy, did a new game. So we'll play on easy for now. Change Time Traveler. We started with Mr. Ralph Harrelson, excuse me. That is who we will use. We also started with the Rift Walkers. We unlocked a couple of extra squads by doing achievements. These achievements right here. And we did, for the intents and purposes of demonstration, we did 4 islands on easy. So that we could see what all of the islands were about. So I will try to go through very quickly and show you what you might have missed. I mean, unfortunately, the original dialogue is gone, but hopefully this gives you something to watch, and then further Into the Breach gives you like an explanation as to what happened and really why we kind of speed through things a little bit more. After 14 hours of playing the game, it all kind of fell into place for me, tactical, tile, turn-based wise. You've shown up in the nick of time. The Vec are overrunning our island archive. The old Earth relics here still have some fight in them. They could use the help. So you can grab all these things up here. That's corporate reputation. That's what those stars are. The bonus objectives is what we need to complete in order to gain said thingamabubbies. Reactor cores we don't have as a reward for this island, but we can grab reputation and power grid. That is essentially our health, and it transfers from game to game, map to map. Saved people is essentially your score. So let's jump into this one. We recently got a few old Earth jets in the air. My people aren't the most skilled pilots yet, but they're getting the hang of it. So we start off with 3 different mechs. This one is Combat Mech. Prime, as it were. It can move 3 spaces. These guys can move 3 spaces as well, so just for your comparison, you can basically click on them, and it'll show you up to where they can move. I'm going to put Prime thought I heard my kitty cat. I'm gonna put Prime there. This is our cannon, and this is our artillery mech. Confirm. It will drop into place. So the only win condition that actually needs to be met here is win within 5 turns. But then there's a bonus objective, which is for this particular map, end with less than 4 mech damage. So we want to avoid taking mech damage. Also, this one has an air support. You can click on attack order to show the order in which monsters will be attacking, and that's basically it. So we can move. We don't have to move anywhere, in fact. We can do attack here, do no damage, but we can push this guy into the water and he will die because he doesn't have flying. He's not capable of crossing all terrain types and things like that. So same thing here. We're just gonna move this guy here and attack and knock him into the water. And then something that we could do, but we actually don't have the means at the moment, is we could cover up these emerging. We could cover up these emerging Vec breach holes right there, so they're coming through. But if we were to stand on them, they wouldn't be able to get through for that particular turn. But whomever or whatever is actually standing on that hole will take 1 damage. So typically, what you try to do is stop yourself from taking damage while knocking those guys into that position so that you get less kaiju, or I guess in this case, less Vec is what they're called. Unfortunately, I didn't really notice that my guy was in the way of the air support strike there, so he is down for the count. No big deal. But that's the way the cookie crumbles, baby. Alright, we're gonna reset that turn. You get 1 turn reset per combat. And that was just a silly move on my part, unfortunately. What we want to do is that. That'll do the exact same thing that we just did, except that my guy won't take damage, and instead, the dead husk will block the emerging hole. 2 turns remain. Okay. If I move my guy to, like, here. Still can't do anything. Unfortunate. Oh, he is on fire, so he will just slowly take damage over time, although we only have to last 1 more turn, so essentially that's it. Silly mistake there. And what happens in that regard is that my pilot dies. You'll see down here, these 2 pilots gain some experience, and we saved civilians without taking any grid damage. So now, this particular guy died after taking severe damage in battle. I understand. That mech is still capable of operating, it's just that it's at a disadvantage because at a certain point these guys will level up and then they will gain traits. Be it plus health to mech, plus movement, extra reactor power, things like that is really what we were missing out on. And the little tanks. Alright, now what do you do? Excuse me. What do you do? All other Vec incoming weapon damage is reduced by 1, as long as that thing's alive. So what I kind of want to do... Well, I mean, we're going to do... You. Push that thing over there. Get it out of my face. Can you attack? You can't attack. And we'll move here. And we'll do that and knock his friend into the way so that he basically starts killing his friend. Now, normally that would be the right move, but I don't want the tank to get attacked. So what we're gonna do is just kind of hang out here. Get a little bit closer. Yeah, let's hang out here. End turn, move along. 4 turns remain. Just have to defend these 2 little tanks. Dead. At some point they'll power up, but not really sure when. So this guy is going to block the Vec spawning, but he's going to take 1 damage in the process, so he'll die. He's going to attack an empty square because that's the way that his attack works. He's going to die, and then immediately a friend apparently is going to spawn. With 1 turn remaining, these guys finally wake up. Let's go over here, do that, knock him into place. And we don't want to take damage from these guys, but what we can do is something like that. Then we can move you here. move you here, and boom. Push him back on top of that. So now he'll die and block that turn. So I'm gonna also tank one of these so that we don't get any more monsters, and that's basically it. Just trying to min-max my health here. All of the mecha will be at full health at the beginning of the next combat. So at the end of combat, so there's nothing to do. Nothing's on. GG. Easy peasy. Moving on. So now we're gonna go here. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. We can't let this guy die. If he dies, he explodes and becomes like volatile. What is that? A bar? Old Earth bar. All right. Not sure why we have to save that, but okay. Let's put this guy here. We'll put the cannon there, and then we'll put the artillery in the back. Okay, that's fine. What we can do is that we're gonna move this guy out of the way. He's gonna attack the fire, or sorry, the forest, and the forest will become set on fire. Let's move here. And we can push this guy backwards. He won't take any damage, but now he'll block one Vec from spawning. And then what we can do is move this guy over here, like so, and limit this guy's options. We can come around this way, kill this guy, etc., so on. That is it. It's asking me if I want to end my turn because I have action points or available movement or attack options with that particular unit, but really I don't actually want to deal any damage because we got to keep this thing alive for 3 more turns. So by dealing damage here, we deal 1 damage and then it bumps into this guy. It does 1 damage to this character right here, but that might not be the best option here. What do we gotta do? We can do that. Can you make it over there? Yeah, we'll do that. Oh, go ahead and reset that turn. It was not the correct option. Where to min-max our damage here. So what we want to do is like move here. We're gonna deal 1 damage to this guy. No. He's back. Let's move this character there, kill him. Then we'll do this. Get him out of the way. Order of operations says that he's going to attack first. He'll do 1 damage. That's not quite enough to kill that guy, which is a problem. Unfortunately, that means that we are going to take 1 grid damage. We do have a 15% chance to not receive damage from the building being attacked. It can resist it. It did not. So we lose casualties and we lose 1 health. But that is not our objective. This is health that carries over throughout the run. So it's okay to let it fluctuate a little bit, depending on how comfortable you are getting low on health. 2 more turns here. Let's go ahead and do that. We'll push that guy on top of that. That's not cool. Alright, what I need to do. Back. Be down here. I'll push him into the fire. I won't be able to reach. What I could do is kill this thing. I really don't want to because I want the reputation point, so. I think the AI is actually playing it that way because it's not really doing what's smart. It's kind of doing what's annoying to me. Which is tedious. Now, we can do that. Kill that guy. And I think, unfortunately, my friend, you're just going to take 1 damage. We're going to let that happen, because we're not taking any grid damage. Nobody's dying. And I don't want you to kill that guy, so there you go. Last turn. Yeah, they actually blocked him in there. That's kind of smart. Although, I'm just gonna beat the hell out of him. Like that. He's going to do 2 damage to you. Alright. I actually have to do this. I'm going to damage my own mech so that this guy's shot will miss. Because this guy's going to deal 1 damage and I don't want that pilot to die. So that's going to be the end of the turn. We'll finally end this. He'll deal 1 damage to that guy. Everybody will be at 1 health basically. But we won't lose any more grid power, and that's going to be that. The troops of old Earth would have been proud if only they had been here to see it. If only. So now we're going to take a mission. I think you get to complete 4. So we did 1, 2, 3. So now we can either do one of these 2, or some grid power and 1 corporation reputation, or we can do this one for 2. And I guess it doesn't particularly matter, but I'm gonna go for whatever has the easiest quests. That one right there. Destroy the dam. For sure. What? Okay. We got an artillery guy, and this guy makes it so everybody takes less damage. Where this, he can only move 2. He can only move that far away. Now we'll put the cannon there. I'll put the artillery way the hell down yonder. We have 5 turns to destroy this dam. It has 2 HP. This is one of those events that can happen, and it's vital that we obtain that pod. It may contain something that'll help us win the war. It's a pod that came from the future, so it might have people, it might have reactor cores for my mech so that they can upgrade, any and everything like that. Any and everything like that. Let's quickly get rid of this. And then what we want to do is move this guy forward. Okay, for the turn, what we're going to do is that 0 damage to both characters. We're just going to push them further apart. He's going to attack nothing. And unfortunately, this guy can't move. So the pod's just going to sit on the ground, but it can actually just stay there for the entirety of the fight. It's not really that big of a deal, so long as it gets survived, you know, you get a chance to survive. But if it gets stepped on by an enemy, then it's gone. So you need to be aware of that. So this guy is webbed. Let's move you here, and we can do this, or we can go back, we can do that, do this. And I think that that's the better option, because we deal 1 damage, move this guy out of frame so that he can't attack that. And then, all we can do is run up here. You know what, let's reset that. Let's go ahead and reset that. Here's why. Because we can do the same thing, but with this cannon. Kill one of them. There you go. There's that. Then we can walk up here, punch this guy out of the way so he's not dealing damage to this. And then probably want to do is move to here. Just straight up attack this guy. There you go. Nobody's taking damage. Our monsters are dealing damage to our guys. We're not taking power grid damage, and the pod hasn't been destroyed. That's most important, technically, at the moment. Right, so this guy can shoot all the way across the map until something blocks his vision, as it were. Alright, what we want to do... 2 turns. I'm gonna go get this. But with this guy, what we want to do... push him into the water. So we're gonna move this guy here. That guy's only got 1 health, so we'll push him down. And then we're gonna take this artillery dude. Move it here. We're gonna go like that. We're gonna do 1 damage. That mech right there. Or, sorry, that monster right there. And then that's gonna push this guy into the water. Gonna kill him. He can attack, but it doesn't really do anything. Oh, there you go. We have protected the pod because we picked it up. Now we need to destroy the dam and finish this turn by taking less than 4 damage. Should be pretty easy because he can do that right there. And then what we can do is take a step back, do this, and push this guy into a different square so that he's not dealing any damage to our power grid. And then we can actually just kill this guy with our cannon over here as well. So GG. Flawless victory. That's kind of how you want things to go. In a good game, that's how things go. In a bad game, it's not. Okay. Continue. Open the pod. It was just a reactor core at this point, but you know, there could have been weapons and there could have been pilots in there, so it's very important to kind of scoop those things up, especially if you're falling behind. So now after 4 grids, whatever you want to do, depending on how your run is going, you can go back to you have to go back to corporate HQ and defend it from a quote-unquote boss, like a little mini boss here that's way harder than average. So in this case, this guy gets to move 3 times. He has flying, so he's able to fly or hover over top of water. Water won't kill him. He's also hardened, so even if he didn't have flying, he could survive inside water. And he also has a ranged attack that stabs 3 tiles in a row in front of him. That's scary. Let's go ahead and drop this guy here. We're gonna move you here, and you here. Just want to keep them away from my buildings and close toward this water. Yep. Yep. Playing me like a fiddle. Do. Actually, don't move. Just attack. Nope. Wrongo. Go here. That. That'll kill him. Push him out of the way. That is not correct, actually. Let's go ahead and reset that. Important to get a good footing. So what we actually want to do here, basically what we just did. In the opposite direction. do that, though? That's the question. Sort of? Not really. How far can you move? Can't. Like my own building to it, but that's silly. What am I gonna do? Move you here. How am I gonna do that? Oh wait, I was right the last time. Really, dude. We wanna... Go ahead and do... No, either way. It doesn't really matter now, unfortunately. I kind of messed up. I thought that he was going to be able to attack all the way down. Wasn't really paying attention. That happens when you've been streaming for a really long time and aren't paying attention and you waste your backup. You can always take the time. Like, there's no pause in the game. Like, there's no timer. Sometimes there's challenges, but like there's really like no incentive to go extra super duper fast. So I'll move back. Let's put you here, and then just kill this guy off. That's it. That's the end of that. I took a shitload of damage because basically two buildings, 2 damage. That was 4 damage. I think each building counts as 1 power. You can see it represented there. So like if you were to attack here instead of there, I mean now it doesn't matter, but you get it. Okay. Move you into the Netherlands over there and stab that mountain instead of messing up my precious buildings, if you don't mind. Alright. Just move him over here, finish this fight, and we can push him into the water. Easy peasy. No muss, no fuss. Easy. I don't even know what that is. 9 reputation from mission on a single corporate island. Hey, it was. 8 achievements. I mean, we did terrible, but we did it. So he he leveled up, and now he has a oh, her too. So now they have like a benefit, a bonus. So like you don't want to actually lose those pilots anymore because they've already leveled up to level 1, and they passively increase the efficiency of your mechs. You've accomplished every archive mission and astounding accomplishment. So if you perfect, quote-unquote, the island, so you can see that we did all of the side missions and we didn't fail any of them. If you do that for all 5 missions, then you get your little choice here. It's usually a weapon, a pilot, or health. In this case, I would probably take the health, but I'm not actually going to finish this run, so for just the sake, let's take Isaac Jones, and then we'll stick him on there. So now we can spend our reputation points, which we have 9. This is RNG as far as I know. You get, sometimes there's a thing on sale, and you can get powers. It depends on the class. You can use anything. So like right here it says passive effect, all Vec takes +1 damage from bumps and blocking emerging Vec. So that's kind of cool. I'm going to take that, and then I can go over to anybody who has a free slot, and I can equip that. But it needs power now. So we only have 1 reactor core. So what we're going to do is see if anybody else has extra. We don't. So we're going to install the reactor core that we have, power that up, and so now all Vec take +1 damage from being bumped and blocking emerging Vec. That's just how that's going to go for the rest of the run. We have 8 more. So we could either grab a weapon or repair drop. Oh, that's actually really good. Self-destruct is not, although with repair drop it might be pretty fun. I'm gonna grab repair drop, and then we're gonna grab 2 reactor cores, and that's just how it's gonna go. I'm gonna try and recover my, or at least I would if I was gonna finish out this run. I'm going to try and get my power grid back in another way. Let's give it to this guy. It's passive, doesn't have to do it. We can only do it 1 time per battle. That's chill. Now we have 2 extra reactor power. I think what we should do is probably give you 1 more, make buildings immune to damage from artillery. That way I can push people away from my buildings by attacking them directly. That's a very useful feature for the artillery person. And then let's take a look around. Let's see if there's anything I can do with this 1 reactor power. Now, you know what, I'm just going to install it here and let him have extra movement. It's just a little bit more tactical, and of course, if you're uncomfortable with any of these things that you find, like say repair drop, you can always go to test, and like drop in this, see what this does. So you can drop it, let's just say like bam. Hold on, do that. Quick uses. I don't know. Like, I would wish that there were more than 1 there, but you can always do done testing. And that is essentially the game. Now we're going to leave this island, and the way that works is you have to do at least 2 islands, and then a volcano will pop up here. I don't know which is harder, doing 2 or doing 4. I guess it kind of depends on your play and RNG. But that's what we did in our first stream of Into the Breach. We went and unlocked the RST Corporation, and then Pinnacle Robots, and then Detritus Disposal. And then there was the final boss battle, which I'm not going to spoil here in this video. The nice thing about Into the Breach, which is cool, is if you abandon the timeline, I'll just show you, very cool. Whether you win or lose, you get to carry somebody back in time. And in this case, we carried him back, and he was fully trained, so he had mech movement, extra stuff like that. It was pretty cool. So there's these achievements and all that stuff. I'm just gonna go ahead and leave it there, and look forward to playing more Into the Breach in future streams. Come by sometime if you are interested in learning the fundamentals and or more advanced tutorials and things like that. Till next time, be groovy, take care, much love. I'll see you later.